Beim Text war ein Play-Symbol. Und was hat das... Und darüber ändere ich die Sprache, oder was? Oder war das gar nicht darauf bezogen? Ich sehe keine Spracheinstellung, Chat. Sorry. Ich kann übersetzen, wenn zwischendurch mal irgendwie was nicht ganz klar ist. Über den Play-Button? Echt?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, also es gibt kein Deutsch. Es gibt nur Englisch only. Aber ihr hattet keinen Ton. Und das ist jetzt behoben. Okay, okay, alles klar. Verstehe. Wir befinden uns mitten im Wald, auf einem Pfad mitten im Wald. Da ist ein Hügel und auf dem Hügel ist eine Hütte. Und im Keller dieser Hütte ist die Prinzessin. Wir sind hier, um sie zu erschlagen. Wenn wir sie nicht erschlagen, wenn wir sie nicht töten, dann bedeutet das das Ende der Welt. Sagt zumindest der Erzähler. Oh, wir dürfen uns entscheiden. Oh, das ist ja spannend. Oh, das Ende der Welt? Worüber redest du? Wovon redest du? Oder? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Hast du dir schon mal irgendwie dir überlegt, ob der einzige Grund, weshalb sie die Welt zu ihrem Ende bringt, der ist, weil sie die ganze Zeit eingesperrt ist? Oder eine Prinzessin zu töten fühlt sich irgendwie falsch an? Wieso gibt es so viele? Oh mein Gott, what? Es gibt so viele Optionen. Ah, Chat, sorry, ihr habt kein Mitspracherecht bei so vielen Optionen. Ihr müsst einfach, das wird meine Geschichte jetzt. Hast du dir schon mal überlegt, dass es für mich vielleicht voll in Ordnung ist, wenn die Welt ihr Ende findet? Seit ich damals meine große Liebe verloren habe, Cindy, seitdem ist die Welt eh schon zugrunde gegangen in meinen Augen. Ob der Rest der Welt nun auch ein Ende findet oder nicht, das interessiert mich nicht.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Niemand will, dass die Welt endet. Wovon redest du? Ich schon.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people. But
Very, very
surely
evil.
you're not one of those, right?
Doch, ich bin evil. Oh, ich darf ihn... Ach so. Ich dachte, ich muss jetzt eine Antwort wählen und dann geht's weiter. Ich darf ihn alles Mögliche fragen, oder was? Oh, deshalb steht der Explore mit dabei, weil ich alles sagen darf. Hey, vielleicht macht sie die Welt nur kaputt, weil sie eingesperrt ist.
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Der Erzähler sagt, nein, nein, sie ist eingesperrt, weil sie gefährlich ist. Nicht umgekehrt.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Sobald die Prinzessin die Hütte verlässt, tritt das Ende der Welt herbei. Und es gibt nichts, was daran etwas ändern könnte. Also wird ihre Präsenz da unten im Keller gebraucht, oder was? In der Hütte?
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Weißt du was? Mit dir will ich nicht mehr reden. Du bist scheiße. Ich will mit der Prinzessin reden. Du versuchst mir bestimmt nur Flausen in den Kopf zu setzen. Der versucht bestimmt nur uns zu manipulieren.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Okay.
A warning before you go any further.
Eine Warnung, bevor wir weiter vorangehen. Lauter machen? So?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Er gibt uns doch eine Warnung mit, bevor wir die Hütte betreten. Sie wird lügen, sie wird mogeln, sie wird alles in ihrer Macht Stehende tun, um uns davon abzuhalten, sie zu erschlagen. Wir sollen ihr nicht ein einziges Wort glauben.
We're not gonna go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay. Es ist super leer, bis auf den Tisch mit dem Messer
The
drauf.
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Chat, nehmen wir den Dolch direkt mit oder gehen wir ohne Dolch runter? Theoretisch können wir ja später wiederkommen und den holen, wenn wir es uns anders überlegen. Alex, danke für den Raid. Hoffe, ihr habt einen schönen Stream gehabt. Aber wenn ich den Dolch direkt mitnehme und dann sage, hey, ich will dich erstmal kennenlernen. Erzähl mir doch erstmal von dir. Ich bin dir doch nicht mit der Intention hergekommen, dich zu töten. Dann sagt sie, was ist das hinter deinem Rücken? Und ich so, das ist ein Dolch. Aber ich hatte nicht vor, dich umzubringen. Ich dachte nur, wenn schon, denn schon, hast du dabei. Fuck it, wir nehmen ihn mit.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Vielleicht können wir damit ihre Ketten kaputt machen.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Okay, ich glaube nicht, dass es ihr einen Gefallen tut, wenn wir sie umbringen, nur weil sie unten ein bisschen eklig ist,
Her
Bruder.
voice carries up the stairs.
Oh, sie ruft.
Who's there?
Wer ist da?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Ob ich hier bin, um dich zu töten? Nein! Warum denkst du das? Okay, ja, du hast mich erwischt. Ich bin hier, um dich zu töten. No. Ich hab mich noch nicht entschieden. Gefällt mir.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Sie will, dass wir das Messer fallen lassen, damit wir einfach reden können.
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare.
Der Erzähler sagt, das ist keine gute Idee.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
True.
Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Wir lassen das Messer fallen. Nein. Was hält uns davon ab zu reden, während wir das Messer in der Hand halten? Die meisten Spielerinnen und Spieler würden jetzt das Messer hinwerfen und sagen, hey, die ist doch süß. Wir sollten auf das hören, was sie zu sagen hat. Wir können auch mit dem Messer in der Hand reden.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Hör auf mit deinen süßen Kulleraugen, du Schnuckelchen. Ich bin immun dagegen. Deine Hundeäuglein, die können bei mir gar nichts. Das Messer bleibt da, wo es ist.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Oh ja?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Das stimmt. Wenn ich dich umbringen will, muss ich dir näher kommen.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Okay, Prinzessin. Hör mal, nicht so ungut, okay? Aber du siehst nicht aus wie eine Kriegerin. Ich hingegen, heute irgendwie schon 8 Stunden Horror-Games gedaddelt. Reflexe wie eine Katze. Unerschrocken. Hab in Don't Scream nicht einmal geschrien. Also tu nicht so, als ob du mich entwaffnen und anschließend töten könntest.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Ich will sie nicht töten, ich will reden. Sorry, können wir einfach reden?
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
Ich fühle mich nicht bedroht von dir und ich werde das Messer nicht... Willst du mich verarschen?
Then I'm not talking to you.
Ich habe gesagt, ich werf den Dolch nicht zu Boden. Und sie sagt, okay, dann rede ich nicht mit dir. Huh. Squint at the princess while holding onto the blade. Squinten ist so die Augen ganz klein machen, ne? So sie böse anglupschen.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back.
Hör auf zurückzugucken.
The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Vielleicht. Squint at the princess even harder.
You squint even harder. So does she.
Oh, du denkst, du kannst
At least
mithalten.
nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Irgendwann muss einer von uns blinzeln? Ja, das stimmt. Ich kann nicht, Chat. Ich kann nicht. Ich will sie nicht einfach umbringen. Ich will reden. Du hast gewonnen.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Was will sie tun? Mich mit der Kette erdrosseln?
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Was fragen will sie? Ich bin hier, weil du angeblich für das Ende der Welt verantwortlich bist.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Ja, das macht schon Sinn. Wenn sie die Fähigkeit besitzt, die Welt kaputt zu machen, wie hat sie sich dann hier gefangen nehmen lassen? Für jemanden, der so mächtig ist, eher untypisch. Ich hatte gehofft, dass du mir das sagen kannst.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Chat, ist es nicht zu laut? Mir ist es gerade zu laut. Aber ihr wolltet es lauter. Wenn ich wieder leiser machen soll, sagt Bescheid.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
Die Musik könnte ich ein bisschen leiser machen. Dann kann man die Stimmen vielleicht ein bisschen besser hören. You know? Do you feel me?
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Oh Mann, das ist ja voll das Dilemma. Sie sagt, es geht um Vertrauen. Er sagt, es geht um Risiko abwägen. Wie heißt du denn? Wie wär's, wenn wir damit anfangen?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Ist das jetzt sass oder ist das eigentlich so überzeugend? Och, das ist ja wirklich eine Prinzessin. Weil Wieso sollte sie dem gemeinen Volk ihren Namen geben? Eure Majestät muss reichen für mich. Wie lange bist du schon hier unten?
Too long.
Aha. Zu lang.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Ja, I get it.
You can't. Don't bother.
Ich habe sie gefragt, wie wir sie denn hier überhaupt herauskriegen könnten. Angenommen, wir wollten.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Will sie, dass ich ihr den Arm abschneide, damit sie freikommt?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Chat, irgendwas stimmt doch nicht. Vielleicht ist sie besessen. Auf der einen Seite die süße Prinzessin, right, die eigentlich nur Leben und Freiheit, zurück in die Freiheit möchte. Und auf der anderen Seite ein Dämon, der, wenn er freigelassen wird, die ganze Welt ins Unglück stürzen wird. Wenn ich eine Prinzessin wäre, ja, und ich muss sagen, es fällt mir gerade nicht so schwer, mich da rein zu versetzen, wenn ich eine Prinzessin wäre, hätte ich keinen Bock darauf, dass mir irgendjemand meinen Arm abschneidet. Ich würde sagen, find den Schlüssel oder hol einen Hammer oder so, um die Kette kaputt zu machen, aber nicht, hol das Messer, um mir meine fucking Hand abzuschneiden. Wir können sie erschlagen, wir können ihr sagen, wir holen sie hier raus und dann die Ketten untersuchen. Wir können auch sagen, dass wir sie weiterhin unten eingesperrt lassen, zumindest für eine kurze Zeit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. Umbringen, befreien oder weiter reden? 3 ist doch die beste Lösung. Wieso sollten wir sie jetzt umbringen? Wieso wollt ihr sie umbringen, Chat? Sie ist total süß. Guck die Augen an und die Haare und das Kleid. 3 ist für Feiglinge? Wurdest du zu oft auf dem Schulhof verhauen, oder wieso hast du das Gefühl jetzt irgendwie hier, dass man seinen Mann stehen muss? Was, Feiglinge und... Junge, wir reden mit ihr, Chat. Die Augen sind sass? Nein, sie ist halt... Chat, vielleicht ist sie schon ein paar Jahre hier unten und da würde ich auch so gucken. Ich wäre richtig genervt. Was hat sie gegessen all die Zeit über? Brauchst du überhaupt Essen? Bist du noch ein Mensch? Wo sind die ganzen Exkremente? Wer isst, muss aufs Klo. Ein Klo gibt es hier nicht. Also müssten wir in irgendeiner Ecke lauter Häufchen finden. Prinzessinnenhäufchen. Wenn du nicht aufs Klo gehst, dann isst du wahrscheinlich auch nichts. Und wenn du weder aufs Klo gehst noch etwas isst, dann bist du wahrscheinlich kein Mensch, sondern irgendetwas anderes. Sie hat aus dem Fenster gekackt? Ich glaube nicht, dass sie aus dem Fenster gekackt hat, Chat. Chat, ich nehme 3. Fuck off, wir töten sie nicht. Was labert ihr? Aber sie ist bestimmt enttäuscht. Sie denkt dann so, ich bin voll das Weichei, weil ich so eine halbherzige... Oh, ich kann nicht mal... Sie denkt bestimmt, ich bin uncool, wenn ich sage, ich kann dich... Hör zu. Hör zu. Ich kann dich nicht befreien. Aber ich kann dich auch nicht umbringen. Wie wär's, wenn wir einfach weiter reden? Sie ist bestimmt voll genervt dann von mir. Besser als sie umzubringen. Sie soll dankbar sein.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
Danke, Herr Erzähler.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
Warum ist die Schrift so rot?
And if you don't...
Ja.
I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
What? Ich dachte, wir reden jetzt doch mal so ein bisschen über unsere Vergangenheit, was uns so antreibt. Lernen uns so ein bisschen kennen, flirten ein bisschen. Aber ich bin ja schon wieder bei der Scheißsituation von eben. Das ist ja voll kacke, Junge. Slay? Okay. Du willst, dass ich eine Entscheidung treffe?
Trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Hä, wieso habe ich das... Wieso ist mein Arm so komisch? Bin ich das Monster? Ich sehe pelzig aus. Und so ein bisschen... warzig.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chat, Slay the Princess war total dumm. Wir hätten mit ihr durchbrennen können, stattdessen versuchen wir sie umzubringen und sterben dabei selbst. Wie konnten wir gegen sie verlieren, wenn wir so ein krasses Monster sind? Nein, weil du gewartet hast?
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her.
Oh. Das kommt mir bekannt vor. Sie wird mich schon wieder töten.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
What does it matter what he knows?
There's nothing we can do to stop her. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the...
Chat, ich schließe jetzt Freundschaft mit ihr.
Before you, she will lie, she will cheat.
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible.
Sind jetzt 3 Stimmen mit dabei? Oder wie läuft das? Voice of the Broken ist der auf den Arsch bekommen hat. Der Erzähler ist weiterhin der Erzähler und der Held ist quasi jetzt irgendjemand Neues, ohne Erinnerung an das, was vorher passiert ist.
if that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Wie viele Stimmen sammeln wir denn über den Verlauf des Games hinweg?
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Wir nähern uns dem Spiegel.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Ich hätte gerne gesehen, wie wir ausschauen. Also ihr wollt, dass wir jetzt, wie der Narrator es gesagt hat, sofort auf sie einstechen? Okay, wisst ihr was? Klar, töten wir sie.
Take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to...
Zeit für Runde 2, Prinzessin.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Sie hat an Stärke dazu gewonnen, weil sie den anderen getötet hat.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Nee, guck mal, der Hero erinnert sich auch an das, was passiert ist. Das ist jetzt nicht die Voice von Broken, sondern der Held selbst erinnert sich auch an das, was passiert ist.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Nein!
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
What? Diesmal war ich bereit, weil sie ekliger drauf ist.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember?
Yes.
Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Okay. Spielt doch keine Rolle, oder? Ich mach eh, was sie sagt.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Ja.
The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world.
That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs.
Vielleicht hätten wir nicht sagen sollen, dass ihr die Kraft nachgesagt wird, die Welt zu zerstören. Ihr scheint der Gedanke gefallen zu haben.
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Huh.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
Du wolltest sie ja nicht töten? Ja, weil sie süß war. Hättet ihr direkt auf sie eingestochen? Na, jetzt vielleicht, aber vorher nicht.
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Kann ich mit ihr reden? Und ihr sagen, dass das ihre Entscheidung ist und dass sie die Welt gar nicht wirklich zu einem Ende bringen muss, wenn es nicht das ist, was sie möchte?
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Hör zu, wenn du gesagt hättest, du willst mich daten, hätte ich es mir vielleicht noch überlegt. Aber ich bin nicht dein Haustier und erst recht nicht dein scheiß Priester. Zeit zu sterben, Bitch. Wie ist unser Plan, Chef?
All you have to do is break these
Warte,
chains.
ich dachte, ich rede mit dem
and set me
Erzähler.
free.
Nein. Oh ja, wenn du so mächtig bist, warum machst du die Ketten dann nicht selbst kaputt?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
Nein. Wenn sie es könnte, hätte sie es schon getan.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
Yep.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
Shut up.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world,
Bla bla bla.
And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Fuck you.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Das hatte ich sowieso vor, auch ohne dass du es mir sagst.
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires.
Ich habe das Gefühl, sie tötet mich schon wieder. Hey Shigeako, danke für den Raid. Hoffe, ihr habt einen schönen Stream gehabt. Schönen guten Abend. Hi. Ja, die ganzen anderen Sachen kann ich gar nicht mehr machen, weil sie jetzt ihre Macht ausübt.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand!
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably gonna stand anyway.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Boah, ja. Ich hatte so ein bisschen Angst davor, dass sie mich dazu zwingt, mir die Kehle durchzuschneiden, aber...
What?
Was? Wait, Bitte?
Don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this. Oh, we'll end this all right.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her. Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
Ich habe den ersten Befehl schon nicht befolgt. Wieso soll ich den zweiten Befehl folgen?
Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
No! Wir sind so nah dran.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it.
Ja, los, Held.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird. thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Stirb, Prinzessin.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Selbst wenn ich hier zugrunde gehe, mein Leichnam wird anfangen zu stinken, zu verrotten. Und den Scheiß musst du dann tagtäglich einatmen.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before.
Ja.
Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
Als Haustier oder als Freund?
That's a little demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
It's a mercy. Take it.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Sie will mich doch immer noch als Haustier haben, right? Nein. Aber sie hat mir ein Kompliment gemacht, was süß war. Aber das reicht nicht, Chat.
No.
Töte sie.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
Ja, wir bringen eine Göttin zu Fall.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
Ja.
As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
Ja, halt die Klappe, dritte Stimme.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You!
You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
Nicht gut.
There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. but the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
Verliert sie ihre göttliche Gabe, sobald sie mal selbst Hand anlegen muss? Und verwandelt sie sich jetzt für sie... Vielleicht wird sie wieder das süße Mädchen jetzt.
Monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Dann ist sie doch jetzt bestimmt...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that? I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god!
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was, and ever will be.
You're damn right we did. And you'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it.
Okay, also jetzt ist eine neue Stimme mit dabei.
Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her, and it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Well, this is just great. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Kein neuer Restart danach? Scheiße.
Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop.
Ja, ich hätte gerne ein paar Informationen, bevor wir da hingehen.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
It feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You'd better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice. Ich sag den Stimmen, dass sie die Klappe halten sollen und dass, wofür auch immer ich mich entscheide, dass sie da mitgehen müssen. Das ist gut.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten a say in things.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
Okay, wir gehen weiter.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. That's it? No, I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice that's fine by me.
Lass uns da reingehen. Halt die Klappe.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
Ich wette, die Prinzessin sieht ein bisschen komisch aus jetzt.
Construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Just to tell us where the door is? I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. No more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things, or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say, exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again. You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you?
Wenn sie jetzt so ein komisches, klumpiges Schleimmonster ist? Ich weiß nicht, ob das dafür sorgt, dass ich sie umso mehr killen will, oder ob ich jetzt ganz plötzlich Freundschaft haben möchte. Ich bin so gespannt, wie sie aussieht.
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward, into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your... The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time.
True.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Zeig mir endlich, wie die Alte aussieht jetzt, Mann!
The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its centre, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Ihr Herz liegt frei, das macht's einfacher, sie zu töten.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
Oh. Weißt du noch, wie ich in der ersten Nacht versucht habe, dich zu verschonen?
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Ja, okay, ich muss dann auch los.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Schatten, Dank für die 30 Monate. Vielen Dank für den Resub, hallo.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Given up on destroying the world, have we? Was ist mit dir passiert? Warte, das müssen wir nicht tun. Es tut mir leid, okay? Es tut mir leid, was ich dir angetan habe. Bitte, hör mir zu. Ich werde dich zur Strecke bringen. Was machen wir jetzt? Wenn ich mit dir rede, tötet sie mich vielleicht, oder? Ich bin so ein bisschen cheeky. Ich sag, nicht reden, stechen. Ich bin so ein bisschen cheeky. Ich sag, was ist denn aus dem Zerstören der Welt geworden? Direkt stechen? Nein, 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 nein. Ich will mit dir reden. Oder meint ihr, ich sterbe dann? Ich bin mir sicher, ob es mich Zeit kostet und ich sterbe, wenn ich mit dir rede. Ich disse sie kurz.
The world hasn't wronged me the way you have. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually, though. Once I've had my fill of you.
Nicht näher kommen! Das ist so
Her
gemein!
fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction.
Ah, ich hätte dich direkt abstechen sollen.
Horrifying squelch. You are unwound.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Boah, Schwabbel, ach Schwabbel. True to her word, you did not die by her hand. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at us. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Ich sehe kaum was. Wie sehe ich denn aus? Habe ich eine Maske auf? Allein an einem Ort, der leer ist. Es ist... Hey, girl.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Warte. Haben jetzt die Hände mit mir geredet?
She is part of me.
Bist du die Prinzessin?
And part of me is her.
Warst du schon immer ein Teil der Prinzessin oder... Machst du sie nur zu einem Teil von dir?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Ja.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
What the fuck? Wir können das Wesen angreifen oder es unseren Körper zerstören lassen?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Sie hat der Prinzessin Frieden gebracht.
How can the world have ended if we are talking? I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Wir sahen so ein bisschen aus wie der DBD-Wraith im Spiegel. Ja, das stimmt.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Hä? Also dieses Wesen, das aus 1000 Händen besteht, hat sich den Körper der Prinzessin geschnappt, oder das, was aus ihr geworden ist, und behauptet jetzt, es hätte der Prinzessin Frieden gebracht. Das Letzte, was die Prinzessin gesagt hatte, in ihrer Dämonenform, war: Es ist kalt. Ich habe noch nie Kälte gespürt. Das hört sich irgendwie nicht so friedlich an. Das hört sich eher kacke an. Vielleicht leidet sie da drin. Ich töte das Monster. Warte, ich kann nichts anhaben.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Okay, war nicht böse gemeint. It's just a prank, bro.
Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Was wirst du tun, wenn ich dir helfe?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Ich kann auch sagen, dass ich nicht zurückgehe.
Everything, until we meet again.
Wir bleiben hier.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Okay, ich warte für immer.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever?
Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself.
Du machst mich ganz doll verwirrt, hör auf zu reden.
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Das Spiel hat sich geschlossen. Ist das das Ende? Oh, fuck you. Wenn ich sage, ich warte für immer, dann warte ich für immer. Oh, geht nicht nochmal. Okay, ja, mach, dass ich vergesse. Die Prinzessin bittet diesen Parasiten darum, mir auszurichten, dass die Prinzessin möchte, dass ich mich an sie erinnere. Oh, und jetzt beginnt es von vorn. Kein Sound? Durch die Neustart oder was? Okay.